She declared, "I can't believe you think my friends are toxic." When I mentioned their arrests, I said, "You're right, my mistake." Then I invited them all to live with us. She moved out after 2 days of her own medicine. I, 34 male, am sitting in my newly peaceful apartment, amazed at how giving someone exactly what they claim to want can be the best reality check ever invented. My girlfriend Vanessa, 29, and I had been together for 2 years, living together for the last 8 months. Everything was good except for one recurring issue, her friend group. These weren't just questionable people. These were people with rap sheets. Let me introduce the cast. Brittany, 3 DUIs, lost her license last year, still drives using other people's cars. Joaquin, 31, arrested twice for possession with intent to distribute, currently on probation. Destiny, 28, shoplifting charges from 5 different stores, banned from 2 major retail chains. Trev, assault charges from 3 separate bar fights. Anger management court ordered but never completed. I tried to be understanding at first. People make mistakes, everyone deserves second chances, all that. But these weren't mistakes, this was a pattern. Every weekend there was some new drama. Someone needed bail money, someone needed a ride because of car trouble, suspended license. Someone needed to crash at our place because they got evicted again. 2 weeks ago I finally had enough. Joaquin had shown up at 3 a.m., high as a kite because he needed somewhere to lay low. I told him to leave. Vanessa was furious with me. The next morning, we had the fight. Me? Your friends are toxic, they're constantly in trouble, and they're dragging you into it. Vanessa, I can't believe you think my friends are toxic. They're good people going through hard times. Brittany drove here drunk last weekend. That's not a hard time, that's a crime. She only had 2 drinks. She has 3 DUIs. She shouldn't have any drinks before driving. You're so judgmental. They're not bad people just because they have records. I didn't say they're bad people, I said they're toxic influences. There's a difference. No, you just hate them because they're not boring like your friends. My friends are accountants and teachers, but sure, boring. You know what? If you can't accept my friends, maybe you can't accept me. Your friends are always welcome here. I never said they couldn't visit. You make them feel unwelcome. You judge them. That's when I had my moment of clarity. You're right, my mistake. What? I've been unfair. Your friends should feel welcome here. In fact, why don't they stay with us for a while? What are you talking about? Well, Brittany just got evicted, right? And Joaquin's couch surfing, and didn't Destiny's roommate kick her out? They should all stay here. We have the space. We lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. We absolutely did not have the space. We can't have 3 people staying here. Why not? They're not toxic, right? They're good people in hard times. We should help them. I immediately texted the group chat Vanessa had added me to months ago. Hey everyone, Vanessa and I were talking, and we want to help out. Anyone who needs a place to stay, our door is open. Brittany, I know you're between places. Joaquin, couch surfing sucks. Destiny, forget that hostile roommate. Come stay with us. The responses were immediate. Brittany, OMG, really? I can be there tonight. Joaquin, bro, lifesaver. I got my stuff in my car already. Destiny, yes, screw my roommate, coming tomorrow. Yo, can I crash too? My landlord's being a dick. Me, everyone's welcome. Mi casa es su casa. Vanessa stared at her phone, then at me. What did you just do? Exactly what you wanted, showing your friends they're welcome. Update 1. Brittany arrived that evening with 4 suitcases, 2 garbage bags of clothes, and her emotional support chihuahua that she never mentioned having. She immediately took over the bathroom counter with her makeup and skincare routine. This is temporary, right? Just until I get my settlement. What settlement? Brittany, from my accident. The other driver's insurance is going to pay big. The accident was her 3rd DUI where she hit a parked car. Joaquin showed up at 11 p.m. with his essentials, a PlayStation, a massive bong, which I immediately said couldn't stay, and 3 duffel bags that reeked of weed. He set up camp in the living room. Yo, this couch is mad comfortable, better than my boy's floor. Destiny arrived the next morning with her boyfriend I'd never heard of. Destiny, this is Tank. He's staying too, right? We're a package deal. Tank was 6'4", covered in face tattoos, and immediately asked where he could store his piece. I told him no weapons in the house. He laughed like I was joking. I wasn't. Trev came by that afternoon, saw the chaos, and decided to camp out too. Trev, just for a few nights, bro, till my landlord stops being a fascist. His landlord wanted rent. That was the fascism. Our 2-bedroom apartment now had 7 adults and a chihuahua. Night 1 was special. Brittany pre-gamed for a chill night in and threw up in the kitchen sink. Joaquin hotboxed the bathroom until the smoke alarm went off at 2 a.m. Tank and Destiny had a screaming match about him texting his ex. Trev punched a hole in the wall during a Call of Duty rage quit. The chihuahua stress peed on our bed. Vanessa tried to maintain her position. They just need to adjust. It's a new environment. Me, you're absolutely right. They probably feel uncomfortable. We should make them feel more at home. The next day I went shopping. Bought air mattresses for everyone, extra towels, shower caddies, the works. Set up a whole dormitory situation. Even made a chore chart. Me, loudly, house meeting. Since we're all living here now, we need ground rules. Rules? I thought we were guests. Me, no way, you're family. Vanessa's friends are my friends. So here's the deal, everyone contributes. Groceries, utilities, cleaning. Fair? I'm kinda between jobs. No worries, you can contribute with chores, you're on bathroom duty. This is weird, man. What's weird about helping friends? Vanessa, back me up here. Your friends aren't freeloaders, right? Right? Of course not. But here's where it got interesting. I wasn't just being petty. I was documenting everything. Every incident, every violation, every crime committed in my home. Because turns out when you invite chaos, chaos delivers. Update 2 Day 3 is when things escalated. I woke up to find Joaquin had friends over. 3 guys I'd never seen before were conducting what looked very much like a deal in my living room. Money changing hands, small bags being distributed. Me, cheerfully, morning everyone. Welcome to our home. I'm making coffee. The strangers scattered like roaches. Joaquin tried to play it off. Joaquin, just some boys from the neighborhood, you know. Me. Of course. Any friend of yours is welcome here. I made a note in my phone, took a photo of the residue on my coffee table. That afternoon, Destiny came home with shopping bags from stores I knew she was banned from. Me, wow, big shopping trip. Yeah, got some deals. Everything still had security tags on them. She spent an hour in the bathroom with pliers removing them. Me to Vanessa, quietly, your friend is committing crimes in our bathroom. Vanessa, you don't know that. Maybe the store forgot to remove them. Me, from 8 items? Stop being paranoid. That evening, Brittany announced she was having friends over for Wine Wednesday. By 10 p.m., there were 15 people in our apartment. Music blasting, people smoking on the balcony, someone definitely doing coke in the bathroom. The neighbors called the cops. 2 officers showed up. I answered the door with a huge smile. Officer, we got a noise complaint. Me, sorry, officer. We're just having a small gathering. We'll keep it down. The officer looked past me at the obvious party. How many people live here? Me, currently? 7. Officer, in a 2-bedroom? It's temporary. Everyone's welcome here. He gave me a look like I was insane. Keep it down or we'll be back. After they left, I made an announcement. Hey everyone, let's be respectful of the neighbors and keep it quieter. Don't be such a buzzkill. Me, not at all. Party on, just quieter. The cops came back 2 hours later. This time they entered because they saw Trev punch someone through the open door. Watching Trev get arrested in my living room while Vanessa tried to explain to the cops that he's not usually like this was something. Me to the officers, he's staying here temporarily. I had no idea he had violence issues. Officer, you might want to reconsider your living situation. Me, oh, these are my girlfriend's friends. She says they're good people, just going through hard times. The officer looked at Vanessa, then at me, then back at Vanessa. Good luck with that. Update 3 After Trev's arrest, you'd think things would calm down. Nope. Brittany, drunk again, decided to borrow my car to get more wine. Remember, suspended license, no insurance. She made it 3 blocks before hitting a stop sign. The call at 1 a.m. was great. Brittany, I maybe had a tiny accident. Are you okay? Yeah. But like, can you come? The cops are being dicks. On my way. I arrived to find her failing a sobriety test. My car's front bumper was hugging a stop sign. Officer, this your vehicle? Me, yes, officer. She says you gave her permission to drive it. I was asleep. She must have taken my keys. What? You said I could. When? I was asleep. You know you don't have a license. The officer looked between us. Ma'am, you're under arrest for DUI and driving without a license. As they cuffed her, she screamed, Vanessa's boyfriend is setting me up. The tow truck driver felt bad for me. Rough night, huh? Me, my girlfriend's friend, she's a good person going through a hard time apparently, he snorted. Sure she is. The next morning, Vanessa was in tears. You let her get arrested. She stole my car and drove drunk. What was I supposed to do? You could have covered for her. That's called insurance fraud and enabling. You're trying to turn me against my friends. Your friends are doing that themselves. Then came the raid. Yeah, you read that right. Turns out, Joaquin's friends had been watching our apartment. When they saw him get comfortable, they assumed it was his new base of operations. Someone informed the police that our apartment was being used for drug distribution. 6 a.m., door gets knocked down. Full raid. Everyone face down on the floor while they searched. They found Joaquin's stash, personal use, but still illegal. Destiny's stolen goods with tags and store sensors still attached, and Tank's unregistered firearm. Remember when I said no weapons? Joaquin, Destiny, and Tank all got arrested. The detective pulled me aside. Detective, Mr. Rodriguez, are you aware of what's been going on in your home? Me, I invited my girlfriend's friends to stay after she insisted they weren't toxic. I've been documenting everything. Would you like to see? I showed him my phone. Photos, notes, timestamps. Detective, why didn't you report this? Me, my girlfriend said I was being judgmental. I wanted to give them a chance to prove they were just good people in bad situations. He shook his head. You're either the dumbest or the smartest person I've met this week. As they led everyone out, Vanessa was sobbing. Vanessa, this is your fault. You called them. Ma'am, we received the tip 3 days ago. Your boyfriend didn't call us. 3 days ago, I was buying them air mattresses. Final update. After the raid, it was just me, Vanessa, and the Chihuahua in the destroyed apartment. Hole in the wall, cigarette burns on the couch, mysterious stains everywhere, and my car still impounded. Vanessa was frantically calling lawyers, bail bondsmen, anyone who could help her friends. Vanessa, I need $5,000 for Brittany's bail. Me, I'm not paying bail for someone who stole my car. Joaquin needs a lawyer. He should have thought of that before dealing drugs in our home. You're heartless. These are my friends. These are criminals who you insisted weren't toxic. That's when she snapped. Started packing her things. I can't be with someone who would do this to people I care about. Do what? Give them exactly what you said they deserved? A welcome place to stay? You set them up. I gave them free housing. They chose to commit crimes here. You knew this would happen. I suspected it might. You insisted it wouldn't. Who was right? She moved out that day. Went to stay with her sister, who apparently had been warning her about these friends for years. The aftermath. Brittany, convicted of DUI number 4, got 6 months in jail, lost her license for 10 years. Joaquin, probation violation plus new possession charges, got 18 months. Destiny pled down to misdemeanor theft, got community service and restitution. Tank, illegal firearm possession, got 2 years. Trev, assault charges, pled down to 90 days plus anger management, mandatory this time. My apartment was trashed. Insurance covered some damage, but I was out about $3,000 in repairs and cleaning. My car needed $1,800 in repairs. Small price to pay for the lesson learned. Vanessa texted me last week, 2 months after moving out. I'm sorry, you were right about them. Brittany's mom called me crying because she's in jail. Joaquin's family blames me for letting him stay with you. Destiny stole from her sister, who bailed her out. I thought I was being loyal. I was being stupid. I replied, you weren't stupid. You were loyal to the wrong people. Vanessa, can we talk? Me? No, you chose them over us when you defended their behavior. That's not something we come back from. I learned my lesson. Good, apply it to your next relationship. The Chihuahua, by the way, wasn't actually Brittany's. She'd stolen it from an ex. I found its real owner through a Found Pets Facebook group and returned it. Got a $500 reward, which I put toward my car repairs. My friends think I went too far. That I should have just kicked them out day one or called the cops immediately. But here's the thing. Vanessa would have always believed I was the bad guy who judged her friends unfairly. This way, they showed her exactly who they were. They had every opportunity to be the good people in bad situations she claimed they were. Instead, they turned my home into a crime scene in less than a week. I'm not proud of what I did. But I'm not sorry either. Sometimes the only way to show someone the truth is to let them drown in their own delusions. I just made sure I documented everything so I wouldn't drown with them. The apartment's fixed now. Got a new couch, patched the walls, deep cleaned everything. It's quiet, peaceful. No one's getting arrested in my living room. No one's stealing my car. No one's dealing drugs off my coffee table. Boring? Maybe. But I'll take boring over toxic any day.